Anthony Romano here alongside Vinny Micucci for Sportscaster101.com, previewing the 2012 season for the American League East. Vinny, the number one thing coming into the season is definitely going to be the Red Sox collapse and how they can really handle it and improve upon it for next year.
It's going to be a big question mark for this Boston team. We know that collapse, one, is the biggest in baseball history throughout the month of September. But two, they're an organization now that expects to go out and not just win, but reach the World Series and win at that point as well, too. So when they don't get to that point, that's when the tumultuous offseason happens, Anthony. I know that's what you saw last year. The players come out and say things. The general manager now leaves. For Boston, there's going to be a lot of spotlight on that club.
Absolutely. Another one in the spotlight is going to be new manager Bobby Valentine. He definitely brings a new chemistry and just a new feeling in that clubhouse that they didn't have before with Terry Francona. He's already came straight out and said that he hates the Yankees, so that's going to add something to that rivalry this year. I think it's going to be an interesting year for the Boston Red Sox.
No, I'm with you as well, because Bobby Valentine, we know that he will bring that great mix to the rivalry for the Yankees. But also I think he'll take some of the attention or some of the energy away from the players, which is a good thing, and that's some of the job of a manager, is to be able to take that away, take the pressure off of them, let them go out. It's a very long season, and maybe that'll help the Red Sox and be able to perform better.
Well, absolutely. And, we talk about that rivalry with the Yankees, and they've also improved their team over this offseason, trading away catcher Jesus Montero, but getting two very good pitchers in Michael Pineda and in another acquisition getting Hiroki Kuroda. I mean, they're really set for the rotation this year.
Yeah, we know this Yankee team has offense. There's no question about that. Around the horn, the outfield, no matter where you look, even in the 8 and 9 spots in the order, they have offense. But how do Kuroda and Pineda help this Yankee pitching rotation? What allowed them to take care to A.J. Burnett, and that's a big one. So the Yankees are just hoping if they can get the kind of depth that they've been used to over the past several seasons, and they have that strongest rotation, it certainly makes them the odds-on favorite, at least, to win the division this year.
Well, absolutely. I mean, their offense, there really aren't that many changes. I mean, they bring in Raul Ibanez. A lot of people say, maybe he's getting a little older, but he can still hit, and when he's hot, he can get pretty hot. So I think the Yankees are going to have a very good year this 2012 season. Another team in the AL East that I think a lot of people aren't giving enough credit to is the Tampa Bay Rays. They have a rotation that's young and talented. Matt Moore, he threw quite a game in the postseason last year, so I think you can look at them also as legitimate contenders this year.
Yeah, and why are they continuously getting overlooked, Anthony? I mean, that's a big question for this Rays team. Joe Maddon continuously gets re-upped with the team. They love him there. They have a nice youthful presence. Evan Longoria is just a great hitter within that lineup. B.J. Upton started to come back around to what we expect out of him as an offensive player. This is a ball club that gets overlooked, and rightfully so. I understand when you have Boston and New York in the same division, it's going to happen, but those teams should not overlook the Tampa Bay Rays because they are obviously a force in that division.
Absolutely. I mean, every team in the AL East this year has a chance to emerge and become even better than they were in the past. Buck Showalter has that Baltimore team looking even better than they were last year. I mean, the offenses in the AL East are second to none, and I really think it's going to be an interesting year to see how the division ends up. Any final thoughts, Vinny?
Well, certainly Baltimore, the offensive side of it, they do have the pieces, but they haven't had the pitching over the past couple of years, and that's been the downside for Baltimore. And Toronto, I've kind of been waiting, Anthony, for a little while for this Blue Jays team to really kind of join Tampa Bay or maybe even take over Tampa Bay as the team that fights with Boston and New York each year. Whether it's this year or not, who's to say?
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I think the Blue Jays definitely have upside, and I think in the coming years they're going to be even better than they are now. But I still don't see it happening. I think the Rays are a very good team. I think they're going to fight with the Red Sox, but in the end, I don't think either of them are going to make the playoffs. I think the Yankees will take this division this year with their strong rotation and obviously strong lineup. They're going to be the division winners in the AL East. I think that's all we have today, Vinny. For Vinny Micucci, I'm Anthony Romano for Sportscaster101.com.